Well, hello. Oh, oh God. All right. So, were you scared? Yes. Okay, good to know. This feeling you just had is fear. And to me, fear is not fear. It's just the way we perceive it. It's just a conception. Fear is just an accumulation of feelings that we get as a result of circumstances in our environment, things that are imposed on us, and then they just get stuck in our brain, and they create that fear. So to me, fear has different faces. It's actually just a feeling that we can perceive it, and then we live it. A feeling that we perceive it, and then we adopt it. And the problem is that when we live it. I'll take you to a story of a little girl, a 5-year-old girl. This girl was struggling at the age of 5 to live her life without being frightened for being a female in an Arab society. She realized at an early age that it was really such a scary thing to be a girl in an Arab society because everything was scary. To her, males were scary. She had to fear males. She was scared of playing outside with kids her age. She was afraid of her siblings. She was afraid of practically everything and everyone. She was plagued with shame. She was plagued with pressure and expectations and guilt. At the age of 10, she was introduced to the fear of God and religion. She realized that everything she does was calculated. She realized that there was expectations out of her, and if she doesn't behave in a certain way, she had to fear going to hell. She had to bear all these expectations that men didn't have to bear. And then at the age of 15, bearing all these fears and all these burdens with her, she realized that she couldn't express herself. She was in a box that was closed, in a cage, where there's no space of expression. If she would say anything, she had to question it 1,000 times if that thing is actually legitimate or acceptable in her society, if people around her will not judge her or just punish her or just remind her of all the punishments waiting for her, whether in life or in the afterlife. So all these things just accumulated. They were haunting her. All these fears were haunting her all the time. And she lived a life of fear. And she had only these 2 words, fear and scary. They were haunting her, and they became embedded in her life. She lived like that until she was 23. That's when her life started. That's actually when my life started, because that girl is me. Just like millions of other Tunisians, we all lived in fear for so long. Fear of oppression, fear of the system, fear of the dictatorship, fear of the society. My fear maybe was a little bit different than theirs. Everyone has his own fear, that's true. But we were all sharing the same thing. We were all tied down by our fears. We were all in that dark corner, isolated. So there was this guy one day who couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take the pressure, he couldn't take the oppression, he couldn't take the despair and the fear. So he set himself on fire. And that's Mohammed al-Bouazizi, a Tunisian guy who set himself on fire because he was done with fear. He was full of fear and despair. And after that, Tunisians went on fire, and the whole country was on fire. I can tell you the feeling we all felt was so strong that no one can express. But then we all came to realization. It was a very small little window, you can say, or just a little shine, like a sunshine coming through a window, to realize that there's a small inner power inside of us that we're not aware of. And when this guy died, we realized that if we just give this power a little space to go out, it could actually change our lives, because it will rule us instead of letting fear rule us, or the fear of the dictator, or the fear of anything. So just like the Tunisian people, I realized that I also had a power. It was probably small in the beginning, but becoming aware of this power made me even stronger. I started to think about my fears, and I started to look at them in a different way, instead of just looking at them as walls or corners or dark things. So I have developed this sense of fear alert this fear alert has made me realize that whenever I am actually scared of something, something goes into my brain that says, oh no, you're not going to be scared of this thing. You're actually going to just challenge it and do it and face it and conquer it. You're not going to let it your life anymore. So I just write down things that are scary to me. These were all the things I was scared of, and of course the list is much bigger. But I started to write down things that are scary, and I just do them. Whatever scares you, just do it. That's what I did. And I remember an instance for New Year's Eve resolution in 2013. I sat with myself and I was thinking, what could be the best challenge? People would actually think about, being fit or just going to the gym or being healthier. But I wanted something more challenging. I wanted to conquer the most fear I was feeling at that time. And thinking to myself, the most tangible idea I had was that I was really scared of expressing my thoughts and feelings, even if it came to the smallest thing of sharing a Facebook status. I never could just say whatever I wanted on Facebook because I was afraid of people's judgment. I didn't like it. Why would people judge me? Why would they marginalize me or just, stigmatize me? So I didn't want to share. But then I realized that that's not the point. So I decided to write. And what better than writing than becoming a journalist? So I just became a journalist within a month. Don't ask me how did I do that. It just happened. So this picture was taken in the second day of me working as a journalist. There was a big chaos in the country because the most famous opposition leader was assassinated, and everyone was furious about it. So people went into the streets, and of course, as a journalist, I had to go and take some pictures. I found myself on this street where there were practically no other females. I was the only female there. And I was surrounded by hundreds of men. You will not see them in the front because they were in the back. I was in the front. And the police were firing tear gas, and these guys in front of me were sending back rocks. So I stood there, and I felt fear coming up. But I was like, no, I have to be there. I have to capture this moment, otherwise it's just going to be lost. So I defeated my fear, and I stood there, and I took this picture. And then a guy came and took my camera and ran away. As simple as that. And I just chased him down the street and I got my camera, but that's not the point. So yeah, the camera is here and the picture is there. After conquering my fear of expression, I came to realize that my fear of God and religion has diminished. I wanted to establish a different type of relationship with God. So I built something based on love and passion and positive energy, not just being scared of punishment. That's nonsense. You should not be scared of punishment. You should do something because you love it. And then I realized that I have become more in connection with my femininity. I have realized that I am in love with the female in me, and I have become a very, very proud feminist, and I'm so proud of it. So no more being afraid of a female, or an Arab female, or any global female. So after that, there was this instance of a little detail. One of the scariest things also that I think you saw on my list was that long hair. I'm a passionate person about long hair. I think it's really lovely, it's beautiful, right? Do you think so? Yeah, I think so. But I didn't want to have long hair because I'm scared of losing it. I wanted to have long hair because I love it. But that's why I just got my hair. That's why I just got my hair, not to be scared of losing my hair. Hair shouldn't be a fear. Hair should be love. Everything should be love. So, yeah, we're not born with an artistic talent. We're not born Da Vinci's or Beethoven's. We develop this sense of mastery. We work on things with passion, and then that's when we master them, they become our art. We become artistic. And that's how I mastered the art of befriending my fears. I stopped looking at my fears as my enemies. They're now my friends. They give me the hand that takes me out of my comfort zone. And they know, and that's how they take me out, and they challenge me. And I challenge myself, and I find the best person in me. So, you never know what you're capable of doing until you actually do it. I just want to leave you with a final thought. I would like each one of you to look deep inside to the most scary thing and just conquer it. Thank you.